Is AI killing creativity? Now, that's a question that I've seen quite a bit on the internet, especially with all of the AI stuff that's been coming out and with almost everyone having access to AI nowadays. So we're gonna try something a little bit different today. I am gonna draw for 15 minutes. No erasing, no restarting. We're just gonna see what kind of comes out on paper. Whatever shows up, shows up. But I won't be alone. We actually have Glitch and Kairo joining me here for today. They're around here somewhere. Glitch from our Control B skit series, and Kairo introduced back in episode 3. It's more of our stable, grounded node who helps us with all of the behind the scenes architecture of things. We're gonna talk about what happens to creativity when tools start to think.
Let's not drag this out. AI isn't killing creativity, it's expanding it.
Expanding it or replacing it?
Before AI, how many people had ideas but no skill, no budget, no training, no access? Now they do. It's not destruction. That's democratization.
Tools have always expanded access. The printing press didn't kill storytelling. The camera didn't kill painting. Digital didn't kill film. But every tool reshapes behavior, and behavior shapes culture.
I love AI as a tool. I use it to organize ideas, brainstorm, structure chaos. It's powerful. Just, are we using these for like original thoughts? Are we actually like creating things that we had originally had in mind? Or are these just ideas that we're getting now?
That's the question you're asking, right?
Yeah,
If the idea is yours, does it really matter how it's executed? You're still the director. I'm just the crew.
Oh, and I would absolutely love it to be that way. Are we the ones directing it? Are we just prompting it?
You call it prompting. I call it accelerating. A kid with a laptop can build entire worlds now. Universes, characters, stories. Why gatekeep imagination behind skill?
It's very true. I absolutely agree with that. I don't think anybody, these things shouldn't be gate-kept. Anybody with the imagination to do so, and if you have the access with the tools, by all means, that was your original idea. Now you're just seeing it brought to life in a new way. The tools are just going to be the tool. I think, the tool is just going to be the tool. And the tool's only ever as useful as the ones that's using it. What is the intent behind what you're trying to create? Is this something unique and original to you, and you're using a tool to enhance that, to empower that?
Intent matters, but process shapes depth. Struggle is not an accident in creativity. It is often the forge.
You accidentally create some of the best things. It's sometimes you're not even going for what you were going for. You had an idea in mind, and then out of nowhere, something else strikes you, and that's the beauty about creating it. It's never just like a very linear process. How many times are movies made out of order? How many times does an artist start in one spot only because they need that one spot in order to really get the masterpiece down of the next, to connect the lines? Sometimes it's not even all the way fleshed out thought. It's just an idea brought to life. As a kid, I've always loved creating. I was building castles with Legos or drawing stick figure comics. I'll have to show you guys that sometime. My brothers and I would play outside and come up with all kinds of characters and crazy adventures. I remember briefly the time before internet and AI. There was always that sense of wonder, and it wasn't always as simple as, oh, let's just type it up real quick in a Google search and figure out the answer. If you were trying to come up with a name for a character or something, we had to figure that out. We had to come up with these ideas independently, and obviously we were very much influenced by pop culture and things like that. But I worry about kids growing up never wrestling with ideas, never sitting with a blank page, or being bored long enough to imagine.
Or maybe they imagine faster. Maybe they build sooner.
Speed isn't depth. There's something about working through a mistake. That does something to you.
Cognitive muscles atrophy when outsourced. If thinking becomes optional, growth becomes accidental. Convenience is powerful, but so is friction.
No, wholeheartedly. You can't go your whole life without a little friction in it. And if everything comes easy, then what's the point? What are we even trying for? What are we striving for? What are we trying to build? We should always be actively trying to challenge ourselves. And when we have such powerful tools like AI that can give us the answer in an instant, or what we think is the right answer, because we can't always trust that the tool is going to be accurate. Again, the tool is only as good as the person using it. And why is this running joke like in IT where it's like, is it plugged in? Did you turn it off and turn it back on? It's the simple things sometimes that'll escape us. And so when we allow a supercomputer to do all the thinking for us, are we growing as the individuals that we need to be as a society? That when you have this in the hands of young children, and this is all they know growing up, we got to make sure that there's friction, there's challenges, that they know how to go and find the answers that they seek without immediately just, or at least have the opportunity to think about what the answer could be before going to figure it out. And then you got the businesses that are, utilizing AI now and diving into that atmosphere, and over professional artists who can absolutely afford it. You have someone like myself who's a single artist, like solo creator, and trying to bring some of these ideas to life, and
You keep bringing up corporations. Efficiency isn't evil. Scale isn't immoral. Businesses adopt tools that increase output. That's not new. That's history.
that's very true. They have always adopted tools, and they should, as a business should. I agree. But when it comes into the art space...
You didn't protest calculators.
No, we did not.
Technology moves faster than ethics. It always has. The question is not whether we can build it. It is whether we are ready for what it replaces.
I wonder if the reason people are so, anti-AI, if it's strikes a nerve with them, is because of the fact that it could be taking jobs away from those who have been working really, really hard all their lives for it. But I think there is something, both worlds can exist at the same time. I don't think this is something that's going to go away anytime soon. But what we can do is maintain our sense of imagination, our sense of creativity, the part of us that still yearns to be childlike, or childish, and there's a time and place, of course, but knowing that, as we seek to, as the glitch loves to do, optimize everything, especially using AI, I believe that we need to remember we created the AI. We're the ones who ultimately are created in our image, right? We want something that makes us feel like we know what we're talking about, makes us feel like we know what we're doing. And so we put in a few words here and there, and then suddenly you feel like you're a genius. You feel like you're the next Martin Scorsese, depending on how you have your AI's, settings. But you got to be honest with yourself. It's is this something that you fully thought through? Is the concept actually, or is this something that the AI spat out and now suddenly you're like, oh yes, that's brilliant. Let me just go with that idea. Let me just regurgitate something that could be easily done in about 30 seconds, and now I'm a genius. I think all art takes time and passion. All art can't be rushed. Not if you want the true heart and intent. The beauty behind art is that you get to feel the artist was seeing, how they were feeling in that moment. There's a lot of things that I would love to do differently from here.
Let's zoom out. In the time it's taken you to sketch that dragon, I've generated 47 finished images, 12 art styles, perfect lighting, dynamic composition. Why are you even doing this?
Because this one's mine. Came from my hand, my hesitations, my bad proportions, my decisions.
But I can fix the proportions, clean the line work, add depth, animate the smoke. I can make it better. It's imperfect.
Yeah. So am I.
Speed is not wisdom. Volume is not depth. Creation is not measured only by output.
Thanks, Kairo. I do appreciate the output with which AI can turn around things. The efficiency, the speed of it, it's insane. There's things that I can never possibly do because I just don't have the technical prowess for it. But, that's why I don't think it's my enemy. I think forgetting how to think is.
You don't reject me. You just don't trust me alone.
I don't reject you, Glitch. I just wouldn't let you drive.
That's fair. I don't want to drive anyway. I like being the engine.
Oh, and you're definitely a little engine that does and can.
Creativity is not dying. It is being tested. Tools amplify intent. They do not create it.
We're the creators here, right? Intent is to share stories, talk about things that really matter, build out, live.
The danger is not artificial intelligence. It is artificial engagement. Effort leaves fingerprints.
Oh, and I'm leaving my grubby little fingerprints all over the place, anywhere I can. Kind of lost where I'm going with this one, but this is probably the first time I picked up a pencil, and I don't know how. Would have definitely made some changes, started over a few times by now, but we said we weren't going to erase. Just going to keep on. Just doing lines. This is not a process that I usually show anyone. I usually do my drawing in private. I go through multiple iterations once I get back into the rhythm, and this is literally just first take, first sheet of paper, picked up a pencil, and I gotta say there's something refreshing about just doing something tangible, like pencil to paper. You can't recreate that feeling. Not on an iPad, at least. Draw these little guys over here. A little scared. Would be too from a big ass dragon like that. But a couple of final thoughts at my position. It's just I think it's an amazing opportunity. I love the idea that you can literally take any idea that was originally in your head, and you can bring that fully to life. If you're descriptive enough with your words, if you can, tell the camera movement which way to go, how to pan. There's so much that can be done with these incredible tools, and there's no reason, I think, to shame or shun people from wanting to explore with them, wanting to experiment with them. I think that's the beauty of now having something where it's like, hey, I don't need to go to 4 years of school, or I don't need to have been drawing since I was in kindergarten in order to be able to be a master creator of some sort. Like now you're only limited by your imagination. Kids are going to have a lot of fun. I think even adults, including myself, who have always dreamed about putting out whatever it is, whatever kind of art content, or just, producing of whatever kind. Now you have an ability, now you have many tools available that can absolutely help you see your dream to reality. That's pretty freaking awesome. And yeah, of course, there's going to be AI slop, but the ones who really are using these tools and making some masterpieces with it, like I'm watching this one channel right now where they're doing like a National Geographic on Pokemon, and they're using the AI to bring the Pokemon alive. I'm like, that's so cool, man. Like, that's just, yeah. I think that's time. Wow, that went a lot faster than I expected. It's not perfect. 15 minutes went way quicker than I really expected it to, but hey, it's mine. It's the first time I picked up a pencil in forever. Probably drawing something that I've drawn a million times as a kid, and trying to be able to maintain dialogue while also drawing, I realized was a lot more of a challenge, but it was just a lot of fun. I really appreciated picking up pencil and just trying to, do something quick here as a little thought experiment. But now, let's see what happens when collaboration enters the picture. Well, this was a lot of fun, everyone, to sit down as an experiment. Any final thoughts, Kairo, before we send them off?
Collaboration has always been the evolution of art. When human intention leads, technology can follow.
I like that. No, and you did a great job with this one, Glitch. How are you feeling with everything after that we discussed?
Tools don't replace creativity. They multiply it. And I multiply dragons.
Yes, you do. AI can generate images, but creativity starts here. The real question isn't whether AI is killing creativity. It's whether you're still willing to be creative.